Coming at you from the Steel City, you're listening to Poor Man's Podcast, Pittsburgh's premier comedy podcast. Your weekly dose of humor, hosted by Chris Hopper and with a new special guest each week. And here's your host, Chris Hopper.
Woo! Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Poor Man's Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Along with me this week, we have friend of the show returning back for his second show, Mark Shimkets. Mark, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well.
I know. You seem to enjoy the opening music.
Yeah, dude. Vibe.
Oh, yeah. It's whatever the guy from Fiverr decided was not copyright material.
Yeah.
Oh, I did that for later, too.
Do you splurge for the premium package for that?
With that, you can't really go basic because I feel like I'm just being cheap if I'm going basic. But I'm not going premium either. I usually go middle of the road. And middle of the road will give you like one or two redos or whatever they're called.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was your feedback critique on that one?
Well, you know what? The original the original one, if you would have heard it, it was, oh, God. It was like, the zany and Allegheny, Chris Hopper. There was like a couple other things.
Ooh.
And it was like, oh, God, what was it? They had like three things, and it was like, because we do it now, it's like from Pittsburgh or whatever. It's like from the Berg, from the city of Three Rivers. It was like, but like the guy wasn't from here, and he like worked yins in, and I feel like yins is a thing where it seems super inauthentic if you're not using it. Like,
what people
naturally.
not from Pittsburgh think Pittsburgh is. Yeah,
it's like, hey, yins, we're from the Berg, and this is the zany from Allegheny, Chris Hopper. So like, we edited it. That is the better version, and I just rolled with that because I was like, I'm never going to be pleased with some jingle.
Yeah, for sure.
But here we are, live at 565 Live in Bellevue. Mark, I'm going to hit the rundown bell. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Were you just here? You were just here for the second half.
Yeah, I think I just hit a segment.
Yeah, you were the main guest, so we had you on the second half. But this week we're going to have you for all the parts we normally do. We have our beers of the week. We have our stuff to do in Pittsburgh, and then, as I was telling you right before the show, I found like the number one holiday gifts since, well, we were looking at it since 84, but we brought it up and it's from 77. So, Audible, we're going to do, we're going to adjust. And that Star Wars playset, spoiler alert, I guess, was calling our name. But here we are. We are at 565. Stop down for comedy on Thursdays. Stop down for live music on Friday and Saturday. Next week, we have Michelle from Pittsburgh Foodie Girl. She's going to do the best places to eat in Market Square while visiting the Tree and People's Christmas Market. So I guess that's the market down in Market Square. Have you ever been down there?
Yeah, I think I went there last year. Got some good cider.
How do you feel with like being around a bunch of people at once, like light up night, 4th of July fireworks kind of thing, or anything like that?
Yeah, I think I'm constantly assessing threats, but I'm a big individual, so there's not many that worry me.
I feel like I told you maybe the first time you were on, like I could see you being like the guy in like the casino that wears the suit, like the muscle.
Yeah,
you're like a
boss.
classy thug kind of thing.
No, yeah, definitely. I did wear a red suit down there. They thought I was young Santa. But.
You'd kill someone with piano wire, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's what the first thing I think of when you go down there. But yeah, no, they have a bunch of like small stores and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. The entire section is just, and then they're like, oh, here's just wine. Yeah. Like, it's like, we're bringing thousands of dollars in wine just to put in a little hut.
Yeah.
There's like a trinket hut.
It's like a whole village down there.
Yeah, I'm like, who's spending $80 on a ceramic horse? Like,
I think people just go down there and like, well, it's Christmas, so why not? It's like when you go on vacation, you get gouged on that.
Yeah, they probably take Social Security checks. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they take whatever they can down there. They just barter with other things. But we have the best Christmas gifts. We're going to talk about that later. What else do I have on here? Have you seen any of these AI faces? Any of this stuff going on?
Oh yeah, the AI art. Yeah, we're not supposed to be pro that, right?
I don't think I am, but so I saw it and like I went like a week by and I was like, I don't trust it. I don't trust
I haven't
anything
done it.
with it. I don't want my face in anything. And then I like searched on Google, like, is it safe? And like the first article I saw was like, it's probably okay. And I was like, okay, well, my narcissism is taking over. So if you can see on that bottom one, that's me looking like the Last of Us.
Oh, nice. So Joel, yeah, I see that.
Do you see
That's
that? They're making a TV show out of that.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
I think it's coming out in January. I think
Sequel was rough.
I didn't play the sequel.
Yeah, it's like if it's like 45 hours long. It can be like 12, and then
How is the sequel? Are you Ellie or who are you?
You're Ellie, and it opens up. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know. It opens up and Joel dies. You watch Joel get murdered. So the entire I don't know. It's kind of like a film, but the entire story is about you going to get revenge against the person that did it. But then it gets really dumb.
Oh, no.
It's like, I don't know. The entire story is about getting revenge, and then the end, you can play it and figure it out, but it's very unsatisfying.
So it's one of those games where it's like, we only wanted to come out with one, but
We're
since
gonna
it
make
did
you-
so well, we're going to come out with some bullshit
We're going to make
game.
you care about the villain. It's like, fuck you, dude. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
You murdered the guy that is the entire
Yeah. You did an entire first game as this person. You get an attachment to
You watch his daughter die. Like, you
Yeah.
feel him. Like, I cried at the beginning of the first Last of Us. For multiple times. I was like, oh, I'm...
It's rough, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know playing it. It's one of my favorites. And whenever you see a video game or a book or whatever turn into a movie or a series, it's almost never living up to what the people who are fans want it to be.
First off, I'm impressed Sony even got the movie made. It took them 84 years to make Uncharted. That
was just
dog
gonna
water,
say.
so I don't know.
That I was so disappointed by that. I feel like Tom Holland are they just supposed to be a younger version of Drake, of Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan?
Well, they messed their whole life up when they made Uncharted 4, and you start that game as younger Drake, and he has a grappling hook that the entire game is based around, but he's never used in the rest of the games, where he's like, oh, I just forgot this utility that I spent my entire life mastering, but, whatever. Oh, I have a brother. That's cool.
That's one of the things, like, you play that. I remember playing, I think it was Sly Cooper. I don't know if you ever played that. That came out.
Yeah, the thieviest raccoon.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get touch into that later, talking about the Christmas gifts, but that was one of my favorites. But like, I think they have 3 or so of them, and the whole reason in the first one you like learn these moves that your ancestors did, but like in one of the later ones it's when they're younger, but they have more controls by then, so they do know more then. But it's not chronologically accurate, so it's like exactly what you're saying. How did you have this skill as a child, but on the second one you didn't?
Head hits, concussions, maybe. That's the only.
Yeah, Uncharted was one of my favorite games, although it is one of those things where it's like, okay, this is all kind of plausible, and then at the end, it's like, oh, there's monsters too.
Yeah, but that's what I love about like Uncharted 2 is like even in that game, the end of it, you have like the evil guy being all blue and stuff, and he's like, you call me the bad guy, but you murdered hundreds of thousands of people to get to me. Like, I don't know if you're really a hypocrite here or not. And it's like, oh yeah, that's just what happened.
But yeah, no, that movie was garbage. Pretty much every movie I get excited for based on a video game or one of the 3 books I read.
Resident Evil is like the only movie series I feel like is actually low key not bad.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's interesting. They build their own little continuity in it. It's always like a fun summer action movie. Like you're not getting Shakespeare, but
how many of those do they
72.
have now? Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Are there more Fast and the Furious or Resident Evil?
Oh, that's a good question. That's got to be close. Oh, man.
Yeah, it has to be. I feel like they're both in double digits by now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then the last thing I want to talk about in our rundown, I'm giving away 2 tickets to Matt Light's
Whoop, whoop.
his ugly sweater, his second annual ugly sweater party.
Yeah, I was there last year. It was fun.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I was too.
Yeah.
I had a rough night out, not anything to do with me. I went to his after party.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were leaving, and my girlfriend was driving, and she doesn't drink.
Yeah.
She was the only sober one, and it was me and Shay who does the show with me. And we weren't like we can get hammered. We were like, respectfully hammered.
Yeah.
And she was driving, and she just like hit into this curb. Like we're driving, we're right by the McKees Rocks Bridge, and she just hits this barrier. The tire explodes pretty much. Then we can't get it off. Some guy pulled over in a truck named Bugger, he kicked it off, and then I put it back on, and we drove home. And it was so frustrating because it was like just far enough that I wouldn't walk home.
Oh, yeah. He just ejected, like, I'm out. Yeah. You deal with it.
If it was closer, I would have been like, this is a problem from the morning version of me.
Yeah.
Right now, it's I'm going to bed. But yeah, thank you to Bugger once again. But we are giving away tickets to Matt Light's show, and part of that was that you had to follow him on Instagram, follow Poor Man's Podcast. And then if you listen to the show, we're going to give away, or we're going to say his phrase. Now, he came up with a 3-word phrase, Mark. What do you think it is?
Hammers. Hammers.
I love that you said that because Shay and I last week guessed what it would be, and we both said hammers.
Yeah.
Now, he went with a phrase, so it's different. Knowing him, it does make sense. He's going with "Here we go." So the winning phrase for Matt Light is "Here we go."
Original phrase.
Yeah. Coined by Matt Light.
Yeah.
But yeah, so message Poor Man's Podcast with "Here we go," and you can win 2 tickets to see the Ugly Sweater Party with Matt Light, Mike Zidell, and Natalie Moses. I fucking love Mike Zidell. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Natalie's funny too. They're all great.
Super fun.
I'm upset. The reason I got the tickets to give them away is because I can't make it. I have to work, but I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, I wanted to ask you about this. I think the last time I might have talked to you, I saw that you were in a giant accident. Not that you were part of it. What was it with Chris?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? That seemed wild.
Yeah. So I was driving out to Chicago with a guy named Chris Grieva, funny comedian, fellow comedian. He runs a show at Lincoln Lodge, so he invited me on it. We were going to drive out together, and he was doing work on the way. Yeah. But he's had a weird upbringing. Like, weirder than Mo. Like, he talked on the way there. He's like, yeah, I used to just, go out at night and do drag races with friends. And, I've outrun the cops before. I was like, what? You can do that? Like, that's crazy. Like, he just did this stuff. So he's extra good at driving cars. So I feel like that made this much more chill overall. Because he was driving a stick shift, so I couldn't even drive to, help. Right. Yeah, I've ridden motorcycles. I feel like I could figure it out. But, whatever. So he's driving, and he's on his phone sending an email or something, and I look up and I see a 18-wheeler in front of me, like a big box truck. Yeah, and I see a big box truck on the side of the road. Okay. But since I'm on the right side of the car, I can see that the box truck on the side of the road isn't completely off, and the guy in the right lane is not getting over. So I just saw, I was like, these two things are going to hit. And I was like, hey, man, you might want to look up for a second. And he was like, what? And he looks up, and these two trucks hit. And so then he just immediately kicks into he just kicks into like foundational brain, and he's just doing all kinds of crazy stuff, downshifting, and we slow down. The car in front of us, the truck, the big box is bouncing back and forth, bobbing and weaving. And I'm just sitting there what's happening? And I never felt unsafe, but I probably should have. And we end up falling. We get to the point where you almost hit the truck. We're a centimeter away from the bumper. It goes into the ditch, and then we go into the ditch next to it. And I'm like, we should move our car, because the entire back side of the thing is angled over, and I'm like, this thing might fall. It's weird. So then we get out of the car. The guy gets out of his car. He's wearing Crocs. Weirdo. And we're looking around, and it's at this point, everyone stopped on the highway. It's full Walking Dead. I walk in the middle of the highway, there's debris everywhere. We go around the corner, and we see the entire side of the box trucks ripped open. And I'm standing there, and I look down, and I see a TV box, a 48-inch LCD TV, and I kick it, and I'm like, oh, there's a TV in there. I was like, that's so sad. I don't know why that was the saddest thing to me. And so we just see,
it wasn't just filled with heroin bags.
Dude, we were like, what if it just wrecked? A bunch of kids came out. This would be crazy. Yeah. But so it sucks. So then a cop comes, and he asks us what's going on. He was like, oh yeah, I just talked to that truck, and he said he had a flat tire. He's waiting to get help. I talked to him 10 minutes ago, and then this guy ran into him. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's crazy how quick truck drivers snap into action. As soon as everyone realized no one was dead, then everyone got out of their trucks, and just started with huge brooms just sweeping up the highway. And I'm helping them clean and move stuff out of the way, and I'm like, this inconvenienced us I need to find a souvenir. So I took a big thing of duct tape and I gave it to my buddy. I was like, yo, I got a reward for us. And I didn't realize the guy that wrecked into the other car was sitting there looking at me from behind. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, and we got a police escort on the opposite side of the highway to get back into the road and off on the thing. That was kind of sick. But yeah, it was just, we were so close to being in such a bad situation. Like if I was in my Elantra and ended up in the middle of the thing, we'd have been screwed. Because we were in a truck, we were able to like get out super chill. It was such a weird experience.
From the pictures I saw, it's incredible that nobody was dead. It's like the Fern Hollow Bridge collapse thing.
I'll have to give you some photos if you want to throw them like this.
I'll throw them up too.
Yeah. No, it's super nuts, dude. I was like blown away. And it's just, the entire side of a box truck was ripped off. Like it was debris. It was so crazy because we were there for like 45 minutes and it felt like 10 because things went down. I was like, whoa. And I'm just like, I'm in the middle of a highway. Like, and it's just, I'm safe because all the damage already happened. Like, I don't know. It was weird. The cop came over to us. He's like, I just got to ask this. Were you guys wearing seatbelts? Like, dude, what the fuck? Dude, it was weird.
Okay. If the answer is yes or no, what
like,
just so you can do an inventory?
We're going to lie. Like, if we're going to tell you we were. But if we weren't, we would have been through the windshield probably.
I had my seatbelt on, but I was doing a bunch of blow.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you're gonna say, I had my seatbelt on, but that whole thing when I saw the pictures, I can't believe nobody's dead.
Yeah, I was like, it felt weird to even talk about it because I was like, nothing happened. It's not like our car got messed up. We just happened to witness YouTube, and we were just like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. Yeah. Well,
we're glad to see you alive and well, Mark.
Yeah, me too. It was the first road trip I went on like. Probably like 2 or 3 weeks after that, I drove some guy to a gig in Ohio. It's like a 4-hour drive, and halfway through that drive, I was like, "Oh, I'm starting to feel a little bit of like, oh, I should be careful." Like just that. But other than that,
you had a near-death experience. Now you have this sixth sense.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's the thing is I never felt fear. Like I almost had like one time I was a kid and I was going to run across the street because the light went from like the red stop to the walk sign. Okay. And my dad was like, go. And I went to go take off running as a kid to be like, oh, quick. And this drunk guy in a truck like almost killed me. Yeah. And I remember there feeling such intense fear and like that kind of thing. But it was none of that with this. It was just like, oh, okay. We're just, holy shit, that just happened. Like it was nuts.
It's weird how that like clicks in. I remember my dog, it was like, I had this puppy that ran out into the street. And like I watched it get hit by the car and like roll in the wheel well, and like he was alive, but just in the street, and like just like the thing that like you don't even realize what's going. Like you pick him up. I mean, I got him on the side, and we got him to the hospital, but just like I don't know, you don't even think.
No, everything happened so quick, and that's what I thought was interesting. Is I saw it's like some shit on Facebook, and it was like, look, if you know someone that has a gunshot wound or like a stab wound, don't start filming it. Every second counts. I'm like, holy shit, we have to like say that now. That's so crazy. Like I didn't think of recording the truck thing until the dude I was with was like, yeah, if I wasn't technically working right now, I would be recording all this. And I was like, oh, I should probably document this. And I just Instagram lived and
it is. It's you see people busting their phones out, you think they're gonna call the police, and they're just TikToking it. Whatever.
That'd be crazy. That'd be so nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's how you find out your cousin's dead on TikTok or something. And
World Star, and you're like, oh shit. Like, no one helped them.
But well, you know what? Let's go to some brighter news. What's going on in Mark's comedy world right now? You have any shows coming up?
Yeah, I'm doing a leg with Steve Hofstetter. I've been his tour manager. Like backup tour manager for a bit, and so I get to do time. And since I'm doing the New Year's shows, I get to do a little more time. And like New Year's is gonna be super fun. So that's like the tail end of the year. So like the day after Christmas to the end of the year, and then nothing for a bit.
Do you like kind of being around a comedian like Steve or somebody who like is knows what he's doing? Like you can just learn from being around him.
Yeah, I definitely feel like everyone has something to be learned from. Yeah. Steve works so hard and is really, really intelligent in the business side of things. So I definitely learned a lot regarding that from him for sure.
I saw the Arts Foundation there just got a mural on the side of the wall.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. People were pissed off like in the neighborhood. Yeah. I was like walking out of there the other day. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was going back to my car and I heard the neighbors being like, we only have like 2 historic buildings in the neighborhood. It's the firehouse and the church. And he's just graffitiing all over. I was like, dude, what do you mean? It's like a mural. Like it's, I don't know. I was surprised. People were like actually heated. Like it was like one guy. I think it's like 1 or 2 people, but.
That's so wild that you like walked by and heard that.
Oh yeah, like they had no idea I was a part of that. They were just like, I was like, oh, it's fun.
That's like something that like if you were being in a movie, you know, the protagonist would walk by and hear like the neighbors chatting.
Just get to my car and just start crying or just like, start screaming.
But they do. Are you part of that thing they do on Sunday? They have it on the Patreon. They do the.
I've been hosting that the past couple weeks.
Okay, so what is that for anybody who might be interested in that?
Yeah, so basically, Steel City Arts Foundation is a thing that was started by a guy named Steve Hofstetter. He is trying to, I don't know, give resources to artists in Pittsburgh. So, like, you can rent out stuff for free, like cameras, PA equipment, whole podcast studio, that kind of thing. They have a broadcast studio in there where members and, like, people that are invited can go do a mic that is anyone that wants to watch it, you have to donate like $7 or like, I don't know, it might be like $4.20. There's something called like the 42 Club, some baseball player with 42.
420.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, I think, there we go.
Some the entire MLB wears his jersey on a day. Yeah.
The only baseball fact I know is that some guy tripped balls and threw a no-hitter, and that's hilarious.
Doc, Jesus Christ. He's on the Pirates too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
he's like, oh yeah, I'm just tripping balls. They're like, you have a game today, and he's like, oh yeah, let me just be perfect. Hold on.
I've tried tripping at work. Doesn't work so well. I tried doing that.
No, look, a pirate did it, dude. I figured it up productivity.
I tried doing acid work at the wine cellar, turned into a castle, and I was like, there's crocodiles in here, and I can't speak, so.
But Silicon Valley does it. Yeah.
So I don't recommend that unless you're, pitching for the Pirates or whatever, because really, you got to get asses in the seats somehow.
Yeah. But anyways, if someone donates to the Patreon, they get access to
Doc Ellis.
Sorry. Yeah, no, there we go. Yeah. No, I should have known that too. But they get access to every Sunday. There's a new material or newer material. So everyone goes up and does newer material, and then the comedians provide feedback. And there's a guest comedian that is typically like a touring headliner, usually, that'll come in and give feedback as well about just ways to improve the jokes, things like that. And so it's really interesting. You get a lot of constructive feedback. I've definitely had like 1 or 2 bits actually come out of it by the end of all of it, but it's a fun writing exercise to like tag other people's stuff as well as do your own. And
is that something you like to do to like also listen to other people's and give feedback? Because some people might take that like, oh, I don't want to help anybody else, get ahead, kind of.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely like I have given an idea for a tag to people and they've been like, oh yeah, no, thank you. And then just never did it and like blatantly ignored it or whatever. But like, I generally, it's good to like listen to friends and then hear something and be like, oh, how about this idea or this thing? Cause when we write, like most of comedy and most things are collaborative. Like it just depends on who you collaborate with and who you talk to. Cause most people are talking to other people and picking around ideas and that kind of thing. I don't know. I definitely, I with the friend group I have, we are all like, give us any ideas. Because when we write something, it's like we have this process of thought that goes into it. And it's like, that is our structure that we can think generally is like, this is the joke I have. This is the way I'm going to go through it. And this is the way I'm going to keep working on it. And until someone else comes in and say, wait, have you thought about this angle? Or have you ever tried that? Then it's like, oh, now I can actually go back and restructure, rethink things because you're not as married to that one single idea. And I feel like you can come back to things and restructure them if you take some time away from it, if you're really beating it into the wall or whatever. But yeah, so people are always beneficial in that regard with sharing each other ideas and stuff. And I think the problem that people run into a lot, though, is when you write a joke or write a tag for someone, you can write it in your own voice instead of theirs. Right. So it's like, I could write something that I would say, but not what they would say. And then it's just a waste of time for them. Yeah. And so I think that's a very important thing to keep in mind when providing like ideas for jokes and things like that.
I think that might be good for, anybody, especially like I only speak for myself. I think that would be good for me hearing other people's points of view and just a different angle, like you were saying, even if you don't necessarily take their advice, like you're hearing different views that you're not thinking because you do have kind of one line of thinking. Yeah. And I get that, like, okay, maybe you throw it out and then come back because you think of something else. You're like, oh yeah, maybe that might work into that thing I thought of before. But you have to also think that you don't know everything and maybe be open to other people saying that too.
Yeah,
you can't be like, what do you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely sucks to get criticism at times,
Yeah.
especially if it's delivered in a way that's unexpected or something like that too. So yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Do you ever have you get the criticism and you're like, you know nothing? Why even? That's more of an interesting question.
There was a dude that was like giving feedback that was like, you should do this. That was what he said to some people, and I was like, you can't be telling people shoulds, dude. Like it's so subjective. Like there's very few like shoulds, I feel like, in comedy. The one I usually will tell people is like, if people will come up and just do jokes about horrific subjects all the time, and it's like, if you're gonna do that subject, I believe that if someone is experiencing whatever that thing is, whether that's like, I don't know, whatever, a handicap, whatever, you need to believe in your heart of hearts that they would love that joke, like objectively. And so it's like, and then when I talk to people about that, they're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't, like, like really rethink it, because I think it is such a high pressure thing. Yeah. Like trying to get an audience to like you when you're doing like stuff that's questionable is definitely just a tougher task. Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, it's so much fun to make people tense and awkward and then just release it and just get people back to having fun.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I understand that. In my limited experience, I was doing a kind of a prosthetic joke. Yeah. And it wasn't like anything for anybody else, but it was like, for me, if I had prosthetics, I'd make myself like 5 to 7 inches taller.
Oh, nice.
But like, but I started it, and like I could see some people like, don't say this.
Yeah. No, but it's super funny. I've been working on a joke where I'm talking about like meeting, when you meet your girlfriend's parents, like when you're a kid, it doesn't mean anything, but when you're an adult, it's like a big deal. And I remember the first time I met girlfriend's parents, I walked in her house and I saw like katanas and knives on the wall and stuff. And I was like freaked out because I've only ever seen like intimidation stuff in movies. Yeah. And then I met the dude, like her dad, and he had an oxygen tank. And I was like, oh, this guy ain't a threat at all. So like I'll do like an act out on stage, or like if I'm gonna fight the guy, like aim for tubes, or like if
he lights a match or something.
Yeah, like if I hit the metal container, we all explode, like a bunch of stuff. But I'll do that, and like sometimes people will laugh, and other times people will be like, can't make fun of like disabled people or like people with oxygen tanks. And I'm like, I think I'm fighting a guy.
If you have a sword on your wall and you're not walking around in a gi at every moment of your life, you're doing it wrong. Like, why do you even have a sword on the wall?
Yeah, dude.
Especially if you have like the 3 with the different lengths.
Yeah, you got to be able to use it. If you're buying swords that are worth more than your car, you probably should know how to use it.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess it looks cool, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why, Mark? Why do people have swords?
Why do people have swords? I don't know.
Mark, my mouth is getting dry, so maybe we should move in.
Let's do it.
To our beers of the week. Now, I don't think you were here to do the first part, because you were our main guest, but this week you were the total package. So I will taste my beer. I'm doing Helltown. I'm going Lattice, I believe it's called. It's 4.8% New England IPA.
Ooh.
You're not an IPA guy?
No, I've never heard 4% for an IPA. That sounds
kind
of low in a way.
It is. It's very low. This is actually the lowest one, and that's why I grabbed it, because I normally do like 8%, and I was like, maybe just drink 3 of these. So I'm going Lattice, so I'm going to taste that. Or excuse me, Lattice. Okay. It's super fruity. It's very light, like Mark was saying. It's 4.8%. Some of the other ones, I got this pack from Helltown. It's a New England IPA pack. It's Salem, it's Buffy, and then this Lattice that I tried. This Lattice is the latest one I had. The Buffy I had a couple probably months ago, and it was probably the best beer I've had this year.
Oh, wow.
It's super good.
That's awesome.
This Salem I tried right before. It's 6%. That one's pretty good, but as for like a lighter option, it's pretty good.
That's cool.
Mark, tell us about the one you have right there.
Looks like I got a True Pilsner from Hitchhiker Brewing Company.
Yes.
And it's a 4.5%, and it's a pint.
Oh, we love the sound effects every single time. It's always so good.
Yeah, I like it.
Mark's trying it for everybody just listening.
Interesting. It's definitely lighter. Definitely goes down super smooth. But it's got like a little bit of a, I don't know, like a fruitier taste. But like I don't know. It's really good. I enjoy it a lot.
I think because I didn't know what you would like going into it. So I feel like a Pilsner is always a safe one just because it's kind of like a light beer. Like,
I feel like you hand this to anyone and they'll be like, all right, I'm cool with this. Yeah.
So what we do here, and it's going to load on the screen in one moment. So I'm going to, take my time for dramatic effect so it can load, and then you'll be able to see the chart. But we rank our beers according to the Guy Fieri Richter scale of flavor.
Guy Fieri.
Okay, there you go. So you can see so the top is actually the best, and the bottom is the worst. So level 1, or sorry, the other way. So the top is the worst, and the bottom is the best. It gradually gets better.
Okay.
So Gangster's level 1, Out of Bounds level 2, Shut the Front Door is level 3, and Flavor Town is the highest at level 4.
How many flavor towns have you given so far?
I'd want to say 3.
Okay.
I've given Buffy. I've given Blockhouse Pumpkin, which is my favorite seasonal.
That is my pumpkin beer, man.
Yeah, it's so
my
good.
dad and I buy like 6 cases every year and
good.
just put it in our basement and hold on to it.
It's so good.
Dude.
And then, Proper Notch by Log Yard, which is a double IPA.
Yeah.
It's like the smoothest IPA I've ever had. It's
That's
so
cool. Let's give that a go. See?
So for my lattice, it's super. I could drink a million of these, but like he was saying, it's 4.8%. And that's a light beer. That's like a Michelob Ultra almost.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with.
Shut the front door. Pretty good.
We're going Shut the Front Door.
Yeah.
It's a level 3. It's super good. You could drink these all day. Helltown doesn't make a bad beer. That one I had earlier, that Salem, that's really good too. That packs more of a punch, but this one, even for people who aren't big on the IPAs, this is a good starter IPA. If you want to try IPAs with some training wheels, do the Lattice. Mark, if you look at the scale and then how to rank your hitchhiker, what is it true?
See, that's a tough one. I think there's nothing too special. But it's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I wouldn't be opposed to just having these always on deck.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like it'd be great in a summer day and a winter day, which is hard for a beer.
I agree.
A lot of times.
I went with some lighter beers. You see a lot of the heavier stouts, the porters, Bocks and stuff this time of the year.
Yeah.
I went with some lighter things because I like a refreshing one,
Definitely.
Yeah.
After a day, like I've been doing, today's been a long day. This is a great follow up to that. So I feel like giving it an Out of Bounds would be too low.
Okay.
So I feel like it has to be a Shut the Front Door.
Shut the front door. Pretty good.
Shut the Front Door, ladies and gentlemen. That's double Shut the Front Door.
Yeah.
That's double Shut the Front Door. And for the Salem, just for shits and giggles, we're going.
I mean, it is out of bounds.
It's Out of Bounds. It's pretty good. For
Oh,
that
okay.
one. All right, Mark. Let's I want to do the stuff to do in Pittsburgh next, just because the Christmas stuff is probably going to linger a little bit. So we're going to do our stuff to do in Pittsburgh segment, and I'm going to bring that up.
Do you promote the Nerd Nights, Kingfly on those?
I think we did one
Yeah.
either last week or a couple. There's a lot of
There's
Kingfly
one recently.
ones.
Yeah.
Kingfly does a lot of stand-up shows and stuff there too, don't they? Or maybe you.
Oh, Kingfly. Yeah, I meant what's this? Maybe is it Spirit? I don't know. It plays in Lawrenceville. That's it, like down by the rock climbing gym. Yeah, I think it's Spirit.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just curious. That's a really cool fun event if you're a nerd. Go meet some people.
So what is it?
It's just it's called Nerd Night. A guy named Rory Brenner, I believe his last name. He runs it. Super nice, fun dude. And it's basically like pseudo TED Talks.
Oh, okay.
And so then you go.
Okay.
And then they have like networking beforehand, so you can like meet new people that are in the city, that kind of thing. And it's all like structured under like the nerdy idea. I'm biased because I was a speaker once and I did a talk on 5G.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, but it's super fun. I definitely recommend if it's something that would intrigue you, definitely check it out.
How did you get? Do you have to be invited, or do you submit something, or how's that work?
I think it was like a submit. I think I reached out and ended up talking to them about it, figuring it out. I think their goal was to look for someone. I think they reached out. They were looking for like comedians to do something at one point, and so I pitched them an idea and sort of went from there.
How long was yours? Or how
I think like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, okay, that's pretty.
Yeah. I think I accidentally put the guy's email on the screen or something like that. It's super funny. It was a fun time. I was like, yeah.
How did that compare to just doing stand up?
Uh,
How did you like doing kind of a more educational formal thing.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was actually I did the presentation in a way for a job interview when I got out of college, and so I was like, oh, it's like kind of a nerdy thing, so I'll go do that. And I wrote some stuff about it. I had like one or two jokes within it, but I ended up doing stand up for like the first minute and a half to get into it, and then I did the presentation, and then I did like the Q&A part afterwards. It was really fun because I just like stood at the edge of the stage and took questions and tried to be as funny as possible, and I had a lot of fun there.
So that's cool too, because I feel like there's so many opportunities in life where you could almost work on crowd work, like just like something like that. Or like if you're just I don't know, I work in a restaurant, if you're bartending or something, it's just stuff like that. You're always interacting with people. The
quickness is huge. Yeah, I did improv for a number of years, so like I think that definitely helped me out.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I wanted to ask you, I always see that you do, at least when you're hosting mics, or I think you did an actual show with the there's like you just pull a subject out of a hat kind of thing.
Yeah.
So how's that work? You just go up and your time is just, you riff on whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, so the last Tuesday of every month is a showcase at Willow Station Restaurant and Bar. We're doing some rebranding, and we're going to be making it so if you sign up online, you get a free beer if you reserve a ticket, basically. Yeah. Then it's gonna be super cool. But the reason why we ended up with like a themed weird mic after is because like after a bunch of audience finishes a show, they don't really want to watch shitty stand up play open mics. So it's fun because we'll get the audience to write down subjects and stuff prior to the first show, and put all that stuff into a hat, so that all the people as soon as the show ends, we go right into an open mic where that is the way it works. So the open micers will pull out 3 different topics. You choose one, put the other 2 back, and then just talk about that for 2 to 3 minutes. And you can come at it from a bunch of angles. You say it's a car. Yeah, okay, you can do a car, but you can talk about wheels, you can talk about roads, you can talk about manufacturing, whatever. It's just, start at one point and then taper off from there. And I feel like it's like helped everyone, like a lot of weird little subjects. Plus the audience wants to stay because they're like, oh, I wrote this down. I want someone to pick it out and stuff. Yeah, and we've actually had a lot of fun different times where I think you had Seneca on the show before. Yeah. So him, and then there's a guy named Blake Scala. I don't know if you've ever had him, but
I haven't. I'd like to have him. Every time I've seen him, I've laughed.
He's one of the funniest people in Pittsburgh. I love him so much.
Yeah, I don't know him. I'd like to have him on though.
Yeah, but they basically did like a bumping mics where they went through the rest of the subjects at the end of the night and just started talking about them back and forth. It's super fun, and we'll do like different theme nights. Like one is a roast thing where they'll like on the TV above where the performers are. The people that were on the show can text a WhatsApp group and like put live messages above a person, roasting them and talking about different stuff. And so that was super fun. Last time we did that, the owner of the bar got up and did his own set. Like one of the patrons, they've seen my set so many times, they went up there and tried to like fake did my set. It was like just super fun and wild and dumb. And that's we're all about just having fun.
That's one of those things that like I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh don't take advantage of. Like they do a bunch of different mics in the city, like, and it's mostly free, if not always, from mics.
Yeah,
I mean, and then if you're seeing some of these shows, there's some shows, I mean, under $20 you can go out on most weeknights and see, have a pretty good couple hours, definitely, and just watch people. I think that just kind of pulling something out of a hat, doing it live, I think there's like an added level of humor, knowing that it's like when you watch improv, like when they're doing it live on Whose Line Is It Anyway or whatever, that people would watch all the time. Like there's an added element that makes it funnier because it's like they're doing it live.
Oh yeah, and then someone will get up, get a topic, and then they'll just do material. And I just get up afterwards. I'm like, fuck you, fuck that guy, fuck that person. I'll just go super hard.
Cars. That reminds me of my uncle who drove a car once.
Also, he did. Horrible thing.
That's what you were getting at earlier. But let's do the stuff to do in Pittsburgh. Awesome. And I'm going to drink some more of my beer.
Hey everyone, it is Liz from Stuff to Do in Pittsburgh, and we are back again this week to give you some of the best events happening in Pittsburgh this weekend. Now, of course, the holidays are in full swing, and we have a ton of holiday events, starting with the night before Krampus happening this weekend at Necromancer Brewing. There's going to be beer, shopping, tattoos, and of course, all the good vibes. You have to check it out this weekend. Now, if you are still in need of checking some things off your list for people this weekend, we totally recommend to check out How You Wear It Holiday Market. This is local vendors, handmade goods, and it's the perfect place to pick out that Christmas gift. And if you're looking for some fun this weekend, check out the Funk Night at Cinderlands in the Strip. This event sounds so much fun. There's going to be some disco, there's going to be great music, and there is only $5 loggers during the show, and there's no cover. So it is the perfect place to kick off your weekend. Now, if you want details on all these events and even more happening this weekend, check out our weekend guide. See you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The wonderful ladies from Stuff to Do in Pittsburgh. I am so pleased because I put music under it this week for the first time.
Oh, that was the first time thing.
That was
I
the
like,
first
this
time.
is pleasant. This is hype. This is a Christmas spectacular.
Well, I had Dustin Dowling on last week, and he mentioned it to me like, that's a good segment, but it's missing. If you put a little bit of light music under it, I think it would pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can't agree more with him. I feel
Definitely.
like it added. I typed it up. I did the royalty-free Christmas jazz or whatever. And
went to Fiverr, got them.
yeah, I got the cheap one on that one. I got no redos. Or I can't remember what the hell they're called.
Revisions.
Yeah.
There we go. We got there.
There we go. Now, Mark, out of the three that they listed, there was, Night Before Krampus, How You Wear It Holiday Market, and Funk Night at Cinderlands. Of those, which one sticks out to you?
Definitely How You Wear It Holiday Market, just because they said you can have breakfast with Santa at 12:30 p.m.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, they go later than McDonald's.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like 12:30 and breakfast. That sounds correct for me, but not like children.
That's
like,
brunch to lunch.
Yeah, that's dinner for like some people. That's
if you're like 80 and above.
yeah.
But
for sure.
I didn't even catch that because I was so focused on doing that. Yeah, I'm reading it. Now, one of the good things about the three events that Liz picked for this week, there's a Friday one, there's a Saturday one, and a Sunday one, so you can go to all three.
I also think what's great is that they have everything for all different types of audiences in each of the ones this week, too. You got some kids for that. They can go down there and meet Santa. If you're trying to party and get laid, you can go down on Friday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They have everything. There's usually a beer crawl. This has been the longest drought without a beer crawl, but I guess it's...
Oh, World Cup's still going on?
I think so.
Final soccer match? Let's go.
Yeah. So I think Monaco, Jesus. Monaco. Monaco's playing Bridgewater. I think Monaco and France and Croatia and Argentina might be the final four.
Okay.
And I only know that because somebody told me that earlier, so I'm only going based on what some guy told me.
That's how most information is. It's fine. Yeah.
I feel like that's how, they saw TikTok on it that your friend watched, whose mom saw it, who told their friend, who told you.
I support not finding out facts via Google. Like, we just need to go back to...
That's the thing. It's so easy to look.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to not... It's more easy to not look, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Everybody I know now is like, I got to look it up. Even me, half the time. And it's like, we could just ponder. We could just be like, let's find an encyclopedia. Let's go real hard.
When's the last time you think you used an encyclopedia, or have you ever?
I definitely have before. I feel like the encyclopedia was next to National Geographic titties in my middle school, and so like, we could just swap books real quick if they were trying to look or whatever.
You got to type up. You got to search the World Book for areola. maybe you'll get a dissection.
They took the A book out just because. Yeah.
I know what a.
I don't think I've ever sincerely looked something up other than just like, oh, this is a neat relic. Look what information's in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My aunt gave I guess me and my family an encyclopedia set from I don't know. She gave it to me in probably 2003, but it was written in 1952.
Ooh.
And the pages were I don't know, turned to dust as you would turn them. I feel like that's one thing that it's cool to have the old encyclopedia set, but it also is
that's probably some good propaganda.
Lead paint sticks to the wall better. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, like cigarettes. They're healthy, dude. They're good for you, dude.
It's part of the dairy and meat and cheese or whatever. It's not cheese. What's on the
food pyramid?
Yeah, the food pyramid.
Maslow's
There's
hierarchy.
Dairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dairy, vegetables, fruits, probably.
Yeah, I love how that's flipped since we've existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it turns out everything we told you your entire life, my bad. Yeah. But, all right, Mark, I'm going to bring some of these up
Okay.
Because this was the one, I guess the main event. This is our last segment. We're gonna talk about some of these old Christmas gifts. I'm gonna pull them up on my computer of the ones from the 80s. We're starting it in the 80s on this, but on the computer, and me and you will talk about it just for the people listening as well.
Awesome.
Let's bring this last tab up.
All right, so these are the most popular kids' toys. Not necessarily the best, but most popular.
Yeah, not necessarily the best, the most popular. So according to this one website, and that's the most extent that I did of this searching, 77, we have the Star Wars toys, which obviously, I mean, probably biggest movie, one of the biggest movies still. I would assume all the kids were going after that. They have Simon in 78. That seems high tech for 78.
I bet, yeah, that's true. I bet Simon was educational at the time.
Is Simon kind of like Bop It with colors, or like do you have to remember or how is it?
You remember the order?
Okay, yeah. So it's like green, red.
It's weird that they
pattern.
describe it as a multiplayer game.
Maybe. So what, if you lose, do you pass it? Because isn't that... I'm just comparing everything to Bop It.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is just Bop It ripped off Simon for sure. Yeah.
They're like, what can we do instead of colors? I guess you could twist and pull. Okay.
How do we groom children?
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, we're going to Bop It. What should we call it?
I've never thought of that before. It's fucked up.
79, we have Atari VCS. I guess that's what? Probably the first.
You ever use an Atari?
I have played like a game, but it was on like a Windows 98.
Oh,
you know, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You know,
I remember
the real deal.
having one, but I could never get it to work. Like Pong, we had Pong. We had a couple of things. I remember back in the day, that's when you had that like metal circular prong that you had to plug into your TV, and not like VGA. It's like a full on just.
I don't even.
It's like
is it like one of these? Oh, you mean the antenna?
It looks like how the antenna would like push in and then screw on, dude. Yeah, that's how they connected the TV analog.
Okay, is that the thing that like it was like the bolt that you turn, or am I thinking of something else? This is the best fucking conversation.
Dude, this is I don't know why I spoke this into existence. I was
Don't
OG.
say anything if you don't want me to start talking about it for 10 minutes after.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
let's not look it up.
I agree. 1980 Rubik's Cube. Now Rubik's is a dude's name, right? Yeah, what's that say there? Erno Rubik's?
Hungarian sculptor.
Erno Rubik's. I mean, the Rubik's Cube is still pretty much the standard for trying to, show people how smart you are quickly.
Yeah. How much can you do a Rubik's Cube?
I'd probably 0. I remember I had a Rubik's Cube and I just pulled the stickers off and tried to put them back on.
Oh, man. That's so funny. I could get like a side. But I had a roommate that could do it. He would time himself and do it in like minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he smoked so much weed. So I think that might be the key.
Do you think he would have done it faster or slower had he not?
Slower, for sure. Yeah, definitely. You could definitely see in his eyes, like he unlocked the Matrix and just started going at it, dude. Yeah.
His mind was gone. It was just, his body working.
I'm talking like 48 seconds type of.
Oh.
Yeah, dude would be like, here, do this. And
the thing that ruins that for everybody is like we all see the videos of the kid that does it in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So now if you do it in 32 seconds, no one cares. You're like, oh, it took you that long.
You're not as good as a 12-year-old? All right. You shouldn't be proud of your achievement.
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, I try to put the stickers on poorly. 1981, we have Smurfs.
Wait, what is a Smurf? Just literally just Smurfs?
Just Smurfs, I guess.
Oh, just like a plushie?
Yeah, I guess so. Papa Smurf.
What was the deal with the Smurfs? You know anything about Smurfs?
I remember seeing it when I was like young. I remember watching a bunch of cartoons, like if I just missed school when they had like weird things on. So Smurfs, I remember that there were a bunch of the little Smurfs, obviously. Papa Smurf, there's like Brainy, Laffy, like different like.
Was it just discount dwarves?
Yeah, kind of. And they almost had the names like that, but they were blue. And I remember, I think his name was like Gilgamesh or something. The bad guy in it.
Oh, yeah.
And he had like a cat too that would like chase them, and they was like the antagonist in it. But I can't really remember what the point was.
I just know that Smurfs have really stood the test of time.
Yeah,
in like a cult, like we know they exist, we know nothing about them.
It is. It's and they just came out with some of the like a newer. Well, I'm saying a new movie. It was probably 2008 or whatever. But like, there's been one since like CGI has been around. Like, there's been.
Yeah, they were live action back in the 80s.
There's so many that are just like, let's remake something just because it's nostalgia, not because it's good. Like,
well, yeah, we gotta
who was banging down like Warner Brothers' door like, we need the Smurfs movie?
It's just for the parents that grew up. They're like, my kid, I enjoyed this when I was a kid. How about I pay for this now?
That's the perfect time for like Space Jam to come back out now.
Yeah.
It's just like, let's hit all the adults that are older now.
Jumanji.
Yeah. Let's hit them with their nostalgia. Now they'll force it on their kids. I try to make my kids watch the Mighty Ducks. They don't give a shit. It's so disappointing, too. 1982 BMX. I feel like that's kind of like if you would look at a bike, like a bike's probably the number one of all time. Like in the 30s, bike was king. Next to yo-yos and jacks.
See, but BMX was like, they're structured to be able to do jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
The only reason why my brothers were into it, my brother Sean, if you Google Sean Shimkets, you will see like the craziest shit. Because he built trails in his backyard and he used to like dropping off his roof.
That's a great like X game player name.
Yeah.
You need the alliteration, I think, to be a good BMXer or skater.
Yeah, dude. That's so
I think
funny.
it makes you sound way edgier.
Follow him on Instagram. Every day I'm shoveling.
But yeah, the BMX. The cool thing about the BMX too, if you look at this, it's like a gyro thing or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And so you could do the handlebars 360.
You don't have to worry about
in perpetuity, man.
Yeah. The brakes.
Oh, Cabbage Patch Kids in '83. Now this is where, if you're watching it live, which you should be, this is where the pictures start out. We have 1984.
Oh my God! Read the last sentence of the Cabbage Patch Kids. They were originally not sold. They were adopted with their own names and birth certificates.
Oh, wow.
Good for them, dude. 21-year-old art student, they're hand stitching them. You want to talk about a good Shark Tank pitch?
Yeah.
Oh, they're killing it.
Yeah, back in the day, Xavier Roberts, man. Good for them. Whoever they were.
No, good for them so hard because I feel like that's primarily a girl's toy.
Yeah.
To make the top.
The Cabbage Patch Kids terrified me because I had a cousin who was slightly older and she had like a Cabbage Patch pillow. Terrified me.
Oh, really?
To this day, I feel like if I'd see one, it would kind of...
The legs are looking a little weird. Definitely looking like my legs when I don't work out for like a few, you know? It's a little rough.
Whenever your calves and your thighs are the same size, it's bad. It's either you have giant calves or tiny thighs, but it's neither good.
Yeah, that's not a good,
Yeah, where's Xavier now, man?
Transformers.
Transformers are sweet, man.
Innovation.
Transformers are one of the best action figures just from... You basically have two toys in one.
Yeah.
I remember I had an Animorphs. I think his name was Jake or whatever. He turned into a tiger. It was the coolest toy. Couldn't figure out how to fucking transform it.
Dude, they're so hard to transform. You have to like follow a guide for sure and memorize it.
Yeah. My cousin had those. They were cool. Care Bears. I feel like
85 was Care Bears.
I feel like
for them.
I feel like Care Bears and My Little Pony and even Cabbage Patch, they're all kind of the same thing, just a different species of such.
Yeah, they've definitely come back multiple times for nostalgia.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, let's have a pony instead of a Care Bear, and I don't know. Oh, now we have another one, Teddy Ruxpin, man. Teddy Ruxpin in '86.
I've never heard of this.
I've only heard of Teddy Ruxpin in like old sitcoms, like from like, I don't know, the 80s or the 90s.
Oh,
like
wow.
Alf was talking about Teddy Ruxpin or something. I don't fucking know.
That's a very small face, proportionally.
Oh, yeah.
Is he wearing a bulletproof vest?
He is, man. That's a flak jacket. He's yeah, man. Teddy Ruxpin's
Dude, he's seen some shit.
Yeah, man. I could see that as a new like cocaine bear. It's Teddy Ruxpin, man, on a bender.
We got to bring back an adult recreation of Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah. 87 Koosh Ball.
Dude, the Koosh Ball.
The Koosh Ball stood this test
That's a
of time.
stocking stuffer, dude.
Yeah, man. That's one of the ultimate like. I don't know what the allure is. I think just it's a small thing that you can throw. It's a perfect weight to throw something, and it's not hard to like catch.
Yeah, it's
it has
good
a
to kick
perfect
around.
like break. Yeah, it serves so many purposes. Well, not so many, but like it serves 3 purposes, but they're all fun.
Yeah.
All right. We have 1988 NES console. That's
NES rips.
Yeah.
One of the best consoles of all time. Mega Man slaps. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got any NES games?
No, not currently.
Not. I just mean you don't have.
I would play like my cousin.
Okay.
Like a couple times.
Yeah.
The earliest one. I mean, the earliest ones that I really played. I played a Sega a little bit.
Okay.
And then like PlayStation was really first really got into it. But like I haven't. Oh, I have this bad boy in my living room right now. The
OG Game Boy.
Yeah. Oh shit. I need to update the thing for the people watching it. But yeah. So you said you have one of these NES consoles?
Oh yeah, for sure. Somewhere in my house.
Yeah. So
Dude, NESs were the best. Play a game called Lolo with my dad.
what's that?
Just some puzzle game where you this little blue dude just runs around and you have to push rocks in the way and then just you like trap enemies and then activate it and then get out after you get like a key. So dumb, but amazing.
I feel like some of the best games are like the most basic concepts.
Yeah, dude. And all the games back in the day, there was no save files. They're like, here, write down this complicated code that if you forget, it's over. If your mom threw away, you now lost 40 hours of progression.
I remember, and this was a more recent one, but for like Grand Theft Auto Vice City or whatever, like I had like, this is for unlimited ammo. This is
up,
for
down, left, right,
yeah.
BAs.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we had that. 1990. This is the year I was born. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday, Mark. Turning 32 years old, dude.
Hell yeah.
Not hell yeah. I want to die, man. I feel like
happy early birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I work in a restaurant throughout December, so I haven't celebrated my birthday in many moons. Not that I would anyway. Let's
you
not
probably
be
get doubled up gifts.
Oh yeah, I get
growing up
doubled
too.
up, which, yeah, quite a bit. Which I mean, you usually did get slightly better.
Yeah,
but it was still like, oh yeah, that was the combo gift.
What was the best birthday party you've had?
Birthday party?
Yeah, have you ever had like a special birthday party?
Probably not since I was like 7.
Well, yeah, but you like go bowling? You get a bowling pin?
No, I got this toy though. I'm gonna fucking bring it up too.
Oh yeah.
I have it right here. It's going solo too. It's gonna be on this. This is a Batman. This is High Wire Batman, from probably the mid '90s, from the Batman animated series. This was my favorite toy that I got. I got this on a birthday. But it's like the black. It's neon. It's the sweetest fucking thing ever. But the people watching the thing will see it. Mark, you'll see it momentarily.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I love a good neon. That's a great color.
Black and neon. That's the way to go, especially to get to a kid's heart. If you had to think, what age did you have the best birthday party?
I don't know about age, for sure.
Can you remember the best party that you had?
I definitely should have had an answer for a question I asked. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that Batman.
That's that old Batman. Oh, that's a good Batman, too.
That's what's his name? Just died. The voice of
Bruce
Batman.
Lee? No, what? Who?
Kevin Conroy or whatever. I think he did the voice for Batman. I think
I did in the video. That sucks.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry to break it to you, Mark.
Start crying now. That's so fucked up to even like joke about. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely had a bowling party once. The only birthday party I can think of is one that I ruined, and it wasn't mine. I was at a girl's party that I went to grade school with.
Yeah,
and I lost my iPod Touch, and I was just looking around for it. But I was asking people if they saw it, that everyone got concerned and started helping to the point where the entire party is looking for this thing. And then I found it in my back pocket. Oh, no. And instead of throwing it somewhere and letting someone else get the goal or being like, oh, I found it, I was like, it was just in my back pocket. And they're just like, we're not going to talk to you anymore. You no longer have friends.
I remember ruining a friend in middle school's birthday party at a bowling alley. I got there and she was excited to see me or whatever, and she wanted to give me a hug. Yeah. And I acted super excited to see her. I was like, oh my God. So I went over to give her a hug and then ducked under her and gave her a hug. A friend behind her. Oh. It didn't work. It ruined the mood for the rest of the day. So,
oh no.
And a lot of people thought it was funny.
Yeah.
She didn't.
But that was the goal. You're going for goofs.
Hey man, I'm going for the pure number, man. 10 out of 11 thought it was funny.
Yeah. Look, some people.
The 11th is the Booker.
Somebody's got to take the L for everyone else to have a good time, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it sticks with me today. But yeah, so 90. We have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I guess that's just all thing.
My brothers are super into that. I never got around that. There's a 14-year gap between me and my brothers. So
what year were you born, Mark?
97.
97. Okay, so you're the same age as one of my brothers. I was born in 90. I had almost 91.
Oh, wow.
I said. So I liked the Ninja Turtles, but because like I had cousins born in the mid 80s, I had all their hand-me-downs of like I had the Ninja Turtle like bed sheets that had like the brown stone on it and shit, like the classic ones. So I had that. I remember seeing the Transformers and stuff as well. 91.
Oh, Pogs.
Is there a dumber thing ever?
No.
No is the correct answer.
Well, it's like a collectible thing. I recently watched like a little documentary about Pogs, and it was interesting that they originated in Hawaii. I thought that was interesting, but it got really deep. I found out it's really deep, but whatever. Yeah. And I looked up because everyone's buying stupid shit now, like Pokemon cards that are worth a bunch. So my new theory of how we all get rich is we all buy Pogs because you can buy like entire sets, like mint condition for like $200, right?
Yeah.
And then we need to get like a famous YouTuber to just be like, Pogs are the shit. Yeah. And then we can all be billionaires. That's my...
That would make sense. You could see it anymore. Maybe NFT Pogs or something,
Yeah.
Maybe a combo, or just put Pokemon faces on Pogs. You're killing two birds with one stone. Make them collectible. Put I don't know. Jake Paul can do it, and then everybody will be
Dude, Pogs were like a problem. That's what's funny to me is like kids came and they were like, "Fucking this kid took all my Pogs." It's like that's how the game worked.
I remember they gave away Pogs at Wendy's.
Dude, there was
back when Wendy's
so
had the
many
yellow
Pogs, man. Like was that the first fad? That couldn't have been the first fad.
Maybe the first one that we could remember, kind of thing.
Because that took over for all intents and purposes. Like silly bands, dude. It took over. And everyone had a billion of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about those. Pogs. God, I don't. They're so dumb.
Oh, Barney. We
had Talking Barney. I feel like I had that, or my sister.
Oh, interesting. That Elmo stole this from them.
Oh,
I guess.
I'm glad you brought Elmo up because we're gonna end up talking about Elmo quite a few times.
I have a video of when I was a kid of like if you send Barney some money, he'll send you back an edited video where you're in the Barney video.
Really?
Yeah, they'll like edit your face in kind of thing. So I got one of those laying around somewhere.
That sounds interesting.
It's real weird.
It sounds like it was probably poorly made back then, too.
Oh, yeah.
93, Talk Boy, which I'm assuming is just the, Walkman. Talk Boy sounds like the knockoff movie. Like, you couldn't say the brand name of Walkman, so we're going to say the Talk Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just their own personal recorder. Which is a crazy gift. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That had to have been the shit back there. Plus, look at the little microphone that pops out. The little holder.
It kind of looks like a breathalyzer.
Yeah. I remember seeing this in a movie. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't it wasn't The Wedding Singer. It would have had to been in the 90s. I can't remember what it was. Oh, 94, Power Rangers.
Oh.
Were you a Power Ranger guy?
You were talking about a movie sequel or reboot that was not terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the new one's fun.
Oh, no. I only knew the original to me, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Trini right here.
I didn't know this. What is this? Trini Power Rangers?
Trini was the yellow one. You had Kimberly was the pink one. You had Jason was the red one. Zach was the black one. Billy was the blue one. And,
I remember seeing snippets of that.
Tommy was the green and white one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You
or something like that. I don't really remember,
maybe,
man.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. But no, those were cool. I remember, not that it was a Transformer, but I had this, it was Tommy, the green one. Who was the best, but it was like he had the Ranger, plus you could open up his chest and back and flip the head, and it would be his head without the head. My dad ran it over with a lawnmower.
What'd you do?
I cried. What else am I supposed to do?
I feel he did it by accident. Yeah. I thought he was like,
oh, no. My dad, Sid from Toy Story. He lit him up with dynamite.
There's a punishment.
Yeah. You're going to watch this. Watch the white of his eyes, man.
I remember we took a Power Ranger once, because my brothers used to make M80s. And I don't know, maybe it was one that was bought. I don't know. But we found him and he was like, "Oh, do you have any action figures you don't want, and we had them hug the M80 and then lit it and then ran away and watched the parts just explode. So I guess we were Sid from Toy Story.
I feel like every boy at some point in his life, if not every kid at some point in his life, I know like me and my cousin would light like tampons on fire of not knowing what they were, which I'm sure his mom was super disappointed. 95 Beanie Babies.
Oh, dude, those are another weird ass collectible that's worth way too much money at one point, and now they're not.
Yeah, I feel like we're waiting for like the second swing. Of
the second coming.
Yeah,
I know a lady that like an aunt that she just has a room of just in plastic case Beanie Babies, like the billionaire baby or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like just a money sign to bear.
Oh yeah.
Just big pimping, like just. Yeah, apparently that's the most expensive one. I don't know.
They have to know that going into it. Like, let's just put money symbols all over it, and it'll be.
And then release 12 of them.
Yeah. Let's see, Tickle Me Elmo.
There we go.
Right, that's 96. I remember the Tickle Me Elmo commercials and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to talk about like a thing that's been recreated in its exact form for 25 years? Like, you could probably still get Tickle Me Elmo on this.
Oh, you're going to see Tickle Me Elmo 2 or 3 more times.
Oh, really?
List. Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Elmo's the shit. Tamagotchi?
He's timeless.
I didn't really know what those were, to be honest.
Tamagotchi was something.
I was born in that year.
That, like, people... Like, my family would never buy me that if I wanted that. That's like, okay, yeah.
You got to take care of a pet and stuff.
Yeah, I don't... That's something that other people did. I remember my friends had it. Yeah, you had to, like, take care of it.
I wonder what one of those costed in 97.
It doesn't say it on there. My girlfriend bought it. She bought a Tamagotchi within the last like 18 months.
Yeah,
she was gung ho about it for like 3 days.
It's like discount Animal Crossing.
Yeah, way less fun too.
Yeah,
Tamagotchi 97, 98. The Furby.
Furbies, dude, those are creepy.
Yeah, for sure.
They definitely.
They're one of the things where it's like if you take them apart, like just their skeletal like system of a Furby is terrifying.
It's got to be like the origination of like Five Nights at Freddy's, like the
animatronic eyes and just they're terrifying. I remember like, and I don't know if this was like urban legend, but like it was like they have cameras in there and the Furbies are watching you. Like I remember that being a big thing. And my mom, because McDonald's had like a Furby giveaway, and she was like, make sure the eyes aren't watching you, and like it gave me a whole thing.
CIA invented Furbies, confirmed.
Yeah, now I know why I'm paranoid about things. 99 Pokemon. There you go. Were you a Pokemon guy?
Dude, I'm so mad. I played Pokemon a little bit, not a ton, but I ended up buying a collection off some dude and playing with like my friend.
Yeah.
And then he gave me all of his cards. And so I had this double up collection of just old cards that were like, my buddy is like buying them now and like selling them and all kinds of bullshit. And apparently there's a whole thing right now where people are like, you can't weigh packs, but apparently you can weigh Pokemon packs, at least for like the last set, to tell if there's a rare in it because it weighs like slightly more. Yeah. And so my buddy was just opening up those ones and then selling them. And like, and he was making like a significant profit. And I was like blown away by all this. And I'm looking at one of the ones that are like worth a bunch on YouTube and stuff that he just watching videos that he watches and stuff. And I had 15 grand. In cards. I gave them all to my cousin.
I don't even want to look at that because I had some cards my brother had. Well, actually, my kids have all the cards that my brothers and I had.
Yeah.
So maybe they do. Maybe I'll go.
Dude, I was like, I'm like, I have yet to still reach out to my cousin, to my aunt, be like, yeah, does he still have those cards? And be like, if I sell them, I'll give you like 20%. I don't know. I just like, I gave them all to him. And I'm like, holy, I could pay off college.
Yeah.
With these cards I just gave away. Like, yeah.
It
was nuts.
I feel like
my mind.
That's one of the things that a lot of people, or like, oh, I just let them get wet, or I bent them slightly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, playing with them immediately. You just talk about this idea of like, you know what PSA grading is?
No.
So PSA is like the thing people spend like $70 a card to send them into a company.
Is that like the mint good?
Yeah, so they'll test it and see. So you can get like up to 10. And it's like you could take a card out of a pack and it'd be perfect in the form you got it, send it in, and not get a 10. Because when they printed cards, sometimes they always didn't print them center, and they have to be perfectly printed center. They have to be perfectly whatever to actually get a 10. And so you can spend $80, send in a card, get it back, and it's worth 20.
Oh, wow. So, like, if it's just off just that little
Yeah.
bit, it's the difference between
Dunzo.
thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Insane to me, dude.
I feel like basically it's just looking at all this stuff and seeing things that people thought would be worth a ton of money and then weren't, and then possibly could be again.
Razor scooters.
Razor
You're talking about
scooters.
something worth a lot of money.
I have 2 Razor scooters in my basement right now. Scooters, scooters is something I did. I was decent at it because I would like drive. I'd ride around Swissville in like a BMX bike, and like there were just people that would build jumps in the street and shit.
Yeah.
And like I would have the scooter, and like I just remember fucking like jumping off things, and like I can't believe, like, I don't know. I guess maybe just because I'm old now. Like, I don't know. 5 feet is a big thing to, like, especially for me. That's my height. Like,
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. That, like...
but I feel
amount
like
of
the
shins-
main thing with just like any kind of thing like this, like as a kid, like your bones are rubber. Like it seems compared to like now.
It's
like if I
nuts.
look at a bike, I'm afraid I'm going to break my fucking knee.
We're just bombing hills on this back in the day. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. All right.
I used to love building a jump and getting off it on my bike. What's this? 2001. We got Bratz,
That's when everything started going downhill. No,
which is what, like Barbie that has a little bit bigger heads. Less clothes, I guess. I don't know. As Grandpa Hopper over
it's
here
Barbies
says,
with
I don't know.
attitude.
Oh yeah, they absolutely have attitude.
Or representation Barbies.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at those boots though. She's killing
Those
it.
boots slap. They all have pretty good boots out
Yeah.
there.
They are. They're almost like they need to have like the fall ensemble where they all wear like shades of taupe
Yeah.
and big
But the one
hats.
girl's got a, what is that? A knitted, what's that? It's not even knitted. It's the opposite. It was a what's the one that's crochet?
Crochet?
Yeah, she crocheted a
Crochet
hat.
has the hooks.
And a
Knitting
beanie.
has the
yeah,
needles.
she crocheted a beanie. That's what she got back in 2001.
Oh yeah, look at that, man. That's nice.
Yeah.
Keeps those locks in. All right, 2002 Beyblades. That's something I never.
Me neither.
Yeah, that's the wrong.
That was like, what was that? You would just like make them spin and hit each other?
I think and then they had like the arena thing that you'd put them in.
I feel like that was an attempt to evolve Pogs.
Yeah. I feel like they had something like that. I remember my cousins telling me about it in like the 80s or 90s, and it's just like a newer version of that. I remember
Oh, it was tied to a manga.
I had do you remember BattleBots?
I do know the name.
Okay. Well, anyway, they were like the fighting robots, but I remember having the toys and the arena for that. That thing was pretty sweet.
Oh.
Fuck a Beyblade.
Oh, I had this thing.
Oh, Robo Sapien.
Yeah, dude.
2003 and 4, back-to-back champ.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it came with like a remote. It was real dumb. It would
did it like
just
walk?
Yeah, it was just like that was it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was literally it. 67 pre-programmed actions.
Oh, wow. 67.
Oh, Red Ring of Death.
Oh, okay. So what do we have here? Xbox 360, 2005.
Wow, so we skipped over PlayStation 2. That never made it, even though that was the best
2002 didn't make
selling. Yeah, wow.
2002 or 2002. PlayStation 2. I think may have been my favorite like version of a console.
Yeah.
Like I love the PlayStation 2 games.
It's probably the one I played the most. Like I was a huge fan
maybe
of
that's what it is.
Ratchet and Clank,
Yeah.
Jack and Daxter. There are great games for that. That not a lot of things exist now. I feel like games have gotten worse. They're more beautiful.
Yeah.
But like the structure of story and all that stuff is just like meh.
Yeah, and maybe that's most video games, but I feel like a lot of it is just like let's make it look good, which is obviously very important, but then it's repetitive things.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah,
I'm just salty about the Ratchet and Clank game that came out.
I think it's probably nostalgia.
Do you ever have a 360?
I was a PlayStation guy my whole life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would play it at my friend's house, but then I'd be like, fuck this controller.
Yeah, dude.
But
I feel you. I like the D-pad.
I have this PS3 in my living room right now.
The fat one, yeah.
The fat one would play the PS1
You have the
and
PS1.
PS2.
You have the PS2 one.
Fuck yeah.
That thing's still rare. That thing's hard to find
Oh,
nowadays.
yeah.
That's a relic, dude. That thing's probably worth a lot of money.
I had one, and then it like went bad, so I bought another piece at like, I don't know, I was like 15, and I was like, what the, like I thought I knew what I was doing,
Yeah.
and I definitely just made it worse.
Yeah.
But then I ended up buying another one, like, because I got the thin one for a while, and then
Yeah.
I ended up getting another one, and yeah, I think I play like the original. I play like it was Crash Bandicoot and Spyro on it.
Nice.
Although I did download the refurbished ones or whatever.
My PS3 was weird because there's a semi-sketchy store named MIB Ninja Electronics. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. There's like one downtown, there's one in Dormont. And I went to one in Dormont. And I remember I traded a bunch of stuff in and got an Xbox from them. I was like, it was in box, pretty much brand new looking. Then I was there like a couple days later, and the owner of the whole business was like, fuck, I promised this guy an Xbox. I need one. And this is at the time when PS3s were like twice the price of 360s. And I was like, oh, I have one. And he was like, oh, what can I do to get it off you? And I was like, I'm looking for like a PS3 that could play PS2 and PS1 games. He's like, I got you, bring it in. And he traded me a PS3 for that. Didn't play PS2 or PS1 games. It was kind of a shitty PlayStation, but whatever. And so I upgraded in that regard off that. And I remember like booting it up for the first time, dude. That thing was crazy.
Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Like if I had to have one video game system,
PS3 is
it's
great.
The PS3 that plays the PS2 and PS1
Yeah, perfect. Games. Yeah, dude, I've spent so much time in Skate 2.
Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah,
you're a skate guy over at Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
dude. I will smack you in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, dude.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Dude, I've even seen the skills, and I believe, dude.
Okay,
no, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually have to see about that one.
Yeah, dude, that'd be fun. I do love Pro Skater. I played a lot on GameCube, American Wasteland, dude. That. I used to take a battery and tap the button because I couldn't use my thumb fast enough to tap the button to like do the mission. I'd have to like use a battery.
I remember. I'd always have to take it and set it down on the table, and then I'd just hit it with my knuckle like real fast.
Like what?
2007 iPod Touch.
Dude,
That's
that
what
was
you
a
were just
big
talking.
moment. Yeah.
I think I still have one of the original iPod Touches.
Wait, so how many years was it between just being able to record your audio and then
that was 93
an iPod Touch, dude?
93 had the Talk Boy or whatever the hell it was.
Insane.
Yeah, and just like having touchscreens and everything, like phones weren't even like.
Dude, cut the rope.
Yeah.
Cut the rope was the shit.
Oh my god! Now we have Elmo Live in 2008. So I don't even Elmo Live, most popular toy. It just claps and waves. It's the same thing. It's the same Elmo. It's just slightly different.
Yeah, weird.
2009, you have the Nook.
Really?
Which what kid wasn't clamoring for a Nook?
Yeah, dude.
Like what?
Let's get a $12 ebook.
This has to be just gifts in general, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this blew up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't picture. Okay.
iPad. Wow, we're really balling out of control here. There's no way.
Yeah. It's crazy how quickly like it went from like here's toys, like here's some building blocks and a train to like here's a fucking
$800 system.
Yeah.
What? Here's the infiniteness at your fingertips.
Every single one of these is like my
god, dude! iPad Elmo.
Every year, yeah. If Apple just made Sesame Street, it would have everything. It would have the monopoly.
Elmo was bigger than Disney at one point.
Yeah, Elmo's this is Let's Rock Elmo. Oh, just a couple years apart. What do we have after the Wii U? 2012.
I don't believe this website anymore.
Yeah, maybe
Who bought the Wii U?
I don't know.
How was the Nintendo Wii not on here, but the Wii U?
Also, what is the Wii U? Why does it have a controller? Isn't the whole thing about the Wii being able to move and like have the moving controllers?
Oh, Wii U is the sequel, dude.
Okay,
that
then
sold
what is Wii
nothing.
U? Wii U is a. I'm thinking Wii U is like an educational system.
Wii. That's what was the biggest problem with this stupid system is that it was the PS2 to PS1, but it was the Wii U, and so you could like play on a tab. And it was how like the DS there was the below screen and the up screen.
Yeah.
It was basically the below screen for games.
Okay.
So you could do drawing on your thing. And so that's when you had like Paper Mario or whatever, where you would like draw parts of the game and then put it in or whatever. Yeah. So this was a dog shit console that got released and no one bought it. And so that's why when they released whatever the next one was, they put half the games that was released on that because no one fucking played it. Yeah.
So they felt like they were
This is horse shit. 2012, dude. What happened in 2012, dude? We all just watched that.
2012 is when we thought we were going to die from the Mayan calendar, right? Oh, maybe.
Yeah, we got to do play Wii U before we die. Like
Mayan calendar sounds a lot better.
For sure.
Let's Rock Elmo was 2011, and now in 2013 we have Biggs Hugs Elmo.
Dude.
Elmo, his fourth appearance on the list.
Man, dude. Let's give them respect. At least they only released a good Elmo every 2 years. They're not breaking the bank.
Yeah. They just made his arm move a different direction. His hand moves instead of his foot.
I bet he cuddles way harder.
Yeah. Well, this
Through
is
the
big
ages.
hugs. How many you think that's like, please don't leave Elmo big hugs around a child who can't defend himself?
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Big hugs Elmo could be manslaughter Elmo real fast.
Yeah. Big squeeze.
Yeah. Okay. 2014 Elsa doll. That's
Frozen
from
came out
Frozen.
2014?
Yeah. Holy shit.
There's
no
nuts.
way.
No, that makes sense because I remember watching it in my senior, like some class in my senior year of high school, and I graduated in 2015. That's nuts, dude.
Wow. Have you seen Frozen?
For sure.
Frozen's not bad.
It's all right.
It's fine. There's a couple songs. Adina Menzel has a good
Look,
voice.
man.
2015.
Any movie where two ladies kiss, I'm in. You know. No.
I know. They never mind them. I'm not, it's gonna be a hard as ice joke. 2015 BB-8. Oh, it's from Star Wars.
Olaf, great character. If we're circling back to Frozen for one more time, Olaf is amazing.
The voice, Josh Gad. He has a lot of range and talent. Have you ever seen the show? He's only in one episode. Have you ever seen Party Down?
No.
Oh my god, highly recommend it. It was on Showtime for like 1 or 2 seasons. It was with, oh god, I think his name's Adam Scott. He's the one in like Step Brothers.
Oh
his
yeah.
brother. Him, Martin Starr. If you know him, you would probably know if you saw him. There's a bunch of people that you would know if you saw them. Jan Lynch was in it for like a season. It's super funny. It's like a catering business, but they go to different spots. It's like a really good cast of just like people you recognize, but they're not like giant stars. They go to different places, but it's really, really good. I can't remember what the point that I was going to get to with that though. What were we talking about?
I think the previous one. What was the previous one? Oh, Frozen? No.
Let's see.
Olaf? That character?
Oh, Josh Gad.
boom.
Josh Gad was in it.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah.
But no, he's in he's in like the Book of Mormon thing, I think.
Dude, Book of Mormon. I feel like I've
sing.
heard that name a bunch. I gotta see why, but yeah, he seems great.
Yeah, I think he's in a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But, so we have that one. I don't know the Star Wars guy. And then here we go, NES Mini. So we're seeing the NES kind of on it twice as well.
And that is a bunch of parents buying their kid a thing.
Yeah.
That thing actually was really hard to find for a while because of it was just sold out everywhere. My brother bought it.
Oh.
It kind of sucked.
It looks like something that you would want it to be cool. And then
It's like the you know, you plug in like those little joysticks in your TV and play Dig Dug.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like that's,
Dig Dug is the shit. I fuck with some
Let me
Dig Dug.
pump some stuff up, dude. What is this?
Oh, yeah.
Is this programming for children?
I
Is
would
that-
assume so. It
Yeah.
looks like there's like blocks and some kind of tank looking thing. Cosmo, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Robot that helps kids learn to code. I'm pretty sure this is like what we want to show other countries our top toys were.
Yeah. Like Sweden was like, "What are you up to, America?"
Yeah, we're like we're programming,
It's
dude.
not a 6th Elmo. It's Cosmo.
It's kind of funny that
It's not Elmo. It's Cosmo.
Elmo's like, tickle me, and it's like, I'll hug you. I'm sorry you're depressed. Like, it just gets more and more aggressive.
Yeah,
Boxer AI robot. Dude,
Boxer.
AI's been taking over since 2018.
I guess so. AI in 2018 and then 2019.
LOL surprise 2-in-1 glamper.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this. Is when it's starting to pass me up a little
Yeah,
bit.
dude, this is
PS5, Xbox Series X. I feel old because I don't know what Xbox Series X even is.
so. There's two versions. The
So
small,
Series X, is that this guy on this side?
that's a PlayStation 5 right there.
okay.
Yeah, that middle one is a Series X. The one to the left is a Series S. The Series S is like a mini upgrade from the old one that is capable of doing a bunch of streaming bullshit.
Okay.
And then the series, and it's digital completely.
Okay.
The Series X is not digital and they'll all play the same games. This is a weird thing with Xbox, which I think is severely limiting them. Is that they're all will play the same games. They'll just play at different rates. So like one will be 1080, one will be 4K, one will be whatever.
Yeah.
All that bullshit. When like, I feel like the thing that made console generations interesting was that you were hyper individualizing the ability to make games for that one console and then taking that to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us on my PS3. That's insane.
I can't believe that was a PS3.
Yeah, dude, that was 128 megabytes of RAM that they're working with.
That game, that's one of my favorite games still.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. Like, it's just such a great piece of art and whatever. But yeah, so
that's one game I got it. It was one of the, like, if you buy a game or whatever, they're like, oh, whoa, give me your email real quick so I can give you Game Informer. It'll be free for 3 years if you just like me.
GameStop,
Yeah.
please still buy from us. We're still a business.
So I got like a subscription or whatever, and I remember reading it and seeing like Pittsburgh in it, like a place, you know, the places like the bridges and stuff like that, and thinking just like the way the game looked, like to watch somebody else play it even would be entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite games still to play.
I bought GameStop stock before Xbox and PS5 came out because I was like, it's going to have to go up when they sell all these consoles, right?
Yeah.
And then I sold it right whenever those consoles came out, and I made a slight profit.
Yeah.
And then it went up 48-fold. And I was like, God damn it. It was right
Wow.
before. You didn't know about the GameStop thing?
No.
Wait, you don't know anything about that?
What, GameStop just... No, I don't.
Oh, okay. So, wow, that's so... a quick education for
Yeah,
Chris
please.
Hopper here. The GameStop stock, it was the first time people on the internet realized you could short the stock because like everyone, all the people that were investing, all the people that were looking at GameStop, they were like, it's going to go down forever. So if we buy stocks at a lower price in the future, we can make money off of that. So everybody started buying a shitload of GameStop stock and holding on to it and not selling it because tons and tons of firms spent millions and millions of dollars buying millions and millions of shares at a lower price. So if you look today, even GameStop stock is high, like significantly higher. It went up to like $300 a stock.
Just because everyone's waiting to sell it?
Yeah, because because no one was selling it, and there's a bunch of people that need to buy it at a lower price. But they can wait infinite amount of time, so it didn't really matter. But everyone freaked out initially, and that's why it went up like an insane. It was like one of the craziest stock things ever of all time, just because the internet, like everyone on Reddit was like,
I'm sure I've seen it, but it was like,
it was a really big moment for like one. It was a fad.
I feel like that's with anything, like anything anymore. It's like, okay, that was 7 hours ago. You think I care?
Yeah.
That was the last.
What was
that? I did look. The number one selling gifts right now for this year, and then we'll wrap it up because we're getting we're like an hour and a half in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've been flowing, Mark. It's
Dude, this has been a good time.
Good. So we have that, and that. So the top three for this year.
Did you already see the answer?
I have them in front of me. So
okay,
I'm
never mind then.
So
I'll say we could guess.
Oh well, you know what? You guessed then.
Oh, I don't know. Elmo.
Yeah.
The Switch.
That's all of them.
Yeah, those are my two guesses.
I'm fucking this up. Let's see. E.
It's probably going to be a pandemic purchase, I would imagine.
So the top three, and just based on the one thing that I've seen, is there's like a portable projector for your phone.
Oh, okay.
Number two was a octopus that flips inside out and turns into a different color octopus.
That's cute.
And number one was and it was probably sponsored by this company, and that's why it's like a portable hand warmer.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll give it that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The portable projector is pretty cool.
Octopus.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
I had, to get back to Pokemon and wrap everything up, I remember I had a Psyduck that was like a Pokeball that you'd unzip and flip it, and then it would turn into a Psyduck. It was pretty fucking sweet.
Nice.
Mark, before we wrap it up, best Pokemon.
Best Pokemon, Squirtle.
Oh, fair enough. Good. I thought I'd be disappointed, but I thought, I'm setting you up for something. I'm glad it was one of the original ones, man.
Yeah,
That's the
dude.
correct
I don't
answer.
remember the rest of any of that. Psyduck, maybe?
Psyduck's the shit, man.
Yeah, dude. Unknown Z.
I'm back into it because my kids are into it. So therefore,
nice.
I have to, and I remember everything too. So it's just like, yeah, actually that turns into Machamp, not Machop. All right. But yeah,
awesome.
That's good stuff. But Mark, thank you so much for stopping on
Thank you
the
for
solo
having me.
show, man. I kind of like the solo show.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Next week, like I said, I have Michelle from Pittsburgh Foodie Girls coming on. She's going to talk about stuff at Market Square. See if Mark's there. He might be checking you out, making sure you're safe. Always assessing for danger down in Market Square.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So for Mark, I am Chris. Actually, Mark, tell everyone where they can find you before I wrap this up.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at mshimkets. That's my go-to social media platform, usually.
There we are.
Yeah.
Follow him on that. Send me a message. Here we go for the Matt Light tickets. And for Mark, I am Chris.
All I'm going to say is I'm so happy
Yeah.
that I was allowed to be part of your day.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show to catch the latest episodes and share with your friends. We can't promise not to embarrass you. And if you just can't get enough, follow us on Instagram at Poor Man's Podcast 412, Twitter at Poor Man's Pod 412, and Facebook. This is Pittsburgh's own Poor Man's Podcast signing off. See you next week.